Any advice for up-and-coming tattoo artists?
Don't expect to have your book packed for a very long time, and make sure that you have a way to sustain yourself outside of tattooing. Do not anticipate an apprenticeship that lands right into being booked out 6 months. Be prepared to work really hard and to learn a lot about yourself, things that you wouldn't even imagine. You got to have a little bit of a thick skin, which is something that I had to personally work on. Mm-hmm. Sensitivity is good, but you also need to be self-aware and confident without being cocky, because humility is very important too. But you need to be committed to whatever it is. If you're going to get good at something, whether it's tattooing or anything else, like, you need to just decide that it is what you want to do and do it with purpose.
Love that. Do it with purpose. Can we get a witness? How can people connect with you online?
You can find me on Instagram at Fragile Fire. That's fire with a Y. FRAGILEFYRE. And I'm on Facebook as well with the same handle, Fragile Fire. I'm working on a website, but that's kind of been put on the back burner. But I do keep up to date with my Facebook and my Instagram. And you could also send me an email at victoria.ohman@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Check her out. What's the Fragile Fire come from?
Fragile Fire, that's a handle that I thought up back in the AIM days. I think I was maybe 14 when I thought that up. Fragile is from Nine Inch Nails album, and Fire is a loose connection to the band Typo Negative. So, back then when it was concert T-shirts and Jenko jeans, I figured I'd be clever and put those two things together, and it just kind of stuck. I think it's appropriate too.
It's memorable.
It is.
All right, one more question, Tori.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
Why does art matter?
Art matters because there are only so many ways we can express ourselves verbally. Art matters because it's what keeps... it's the universal language, I think. I think it keeps people interested in the world around them, and it serves as a vehicle to kind of express, how do I say this? That's ironic that I'm having trouble phrasing this. It helps you express what's otherwise hard to put into words or to quantify or to, it's a way to connect people and express oneself. And I think that that's crucial to our existence. It's kind of like an existential thing. I think it kind of helps me feel like I know where I am, and at the same time remind me that we don't really know anything. Mm-hmm. But I think art matters because it's a reflection of humanity in a way. I don't know, is that good?
That's real good.
Okay.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. But in order to do that, you got to check her out. That's right. Go visit her Instagram, Facebook, and visit the shop. Right? If you need some tattoos, she's the one to go to.
Artful Ink.
Artful Ink. Remember that. Thank you so much, Tori, for being on The Artist Matters. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, sharing your skills and your story.
Thank you so much.
There you go. Learned a lot more about tattoos than I ever thought. And I'm glad I finally got Tori on the show. It's nice to hear that she's doing well with the tattoo art. She can make a living at it. And, of course, her advice is you really have to put your time in. You're not going to get booked right away, but apprentice if you can. It's a good place to start. Just remember, you have to have a thick skin and do your work with purpose. And also to get yourself tattooed if you're a tattoo artist, either by yourself or another artist. Good sound advice keeps the creative juices flowing, and you could see someone else's technique, learn from them. I like that she works with 2 other artists who are encouraging, and she inspires them and they inspire her. That's the way a good tattoo shop should be run, or any creative team. There's nothing like that. When you're working with a group and all those creative juices are flowing, your minds are almost in sync, you could probably finish each other's sentences. It is such a rush. That creative flow is just working, and you're in that moment. That's when magic happens. I really hope that anybody who's out there who wants to collaborate with another artist in some form or another, they can feel what that's like, because that is awesome. And what about Tori's answers for why art matters? She said it's a universal language. Many people say that music is the universal language. But of course, we know it's an art form. But then I say, you have a painting, a sculpture, acting on stage, an opera. All those are forms of universal expression that people can relate to. And of course, I love her quote, that art is a reflection of humanity. Yes, it is. And I may go a little further and say it's a reflection of our souls. I know deep within us, there's that creative spark. Some people may have it buried deep under all kinds of junk, whether it's stress, family problems, work, just life in general. It can get bogged down. But when you release that creative energy, whether it's tattooing or drawing or painting or singing or writing or acting, any of those arts, man, it's such a great release, a safe release, and it could bring you to heights you never thought of, really. I don't know who I'd be if I couldn't draw or write, or even editing this podcast is a very great creative outlet for me. And I'm so grateful that I can do that. There have been times in my adult life where I kind of wished I didn't have that creative side, only because it's frustrating when you're trying to make a living at it and no doors are opening. And you're putting yourself out there creatively. Nothing's coming back. What's wrong with me? Why isn't anybody paying attention to my art? How come I can't do anything with this? And I'm stuck at a place that I'm not crazy about working at, or maybe you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, or you want to find that next step to go with your art. It's a little frustrating with that. You want to make a living at it. I'm glad Tori can. And I hope she's an example and inspiration to all of you that you have to put in the work. You have to have that determination, and you got to have the skills and be ready to show up. Very inspiring to me. And like I said, check her out. She is in Bohemia, New York. So if you're in the area of Artful Ink, I'll give you the address in the show notes. Check her out. Get your tattoo from her. It'd be great. Tell them the Artist Matters sent you. And of course, you can check her out as Fragile Fire on Facebook and Instagram. Or you can write to her at her Gmail address, which we'll have in the show notes. So thank you so much for being on the show, Tori. And having a day named after you. What's that all about, you know? It's pretty wild. Happy accident. I really didn't plan that. Well, maybe I did, but it just worked out that way. And thanks for supporting the show, everybody. It means a lot. And, of course, check out our artists. You can go to the website and check out the episodes, check out the show notes, connect with them, say hello, give them some love. And if you're an interested artist, want to be on the show, write to me at artistmatters1@gmail.com. Feel free to give us a review, write me a comment. Love to hear from you, my fellow peeps. So that's a wrap, and I will see you all next time on The Artist Matters. Until we meet again, no matter where you go, let your creativity flow.